1986.
1986. But they were here in Minot with Poison, and I missed it. Fuck.
It's just unreal. You're probably thinking to yourself, what the fuck? Number 4? How could this not be number 1?
The finger guns, you know.
I mean, this is one of those albums you could have went into the record store and bought simply on the cover.
Yeah, for sure. It's really good because I really got to go pee really fucking bad.
Okay.
We don't need no parental guidance here. Yeah, I like that tune a lot.
Welcome back, everybody, to Rock Resurgence Radio. My name is Chad, the host.
And I'm your co-host, Bergy.
Hey, today we're back on our little kick of years and the songs that dominated them, for us anyway. And the year we are talking about is 1986.
Yes, sir. Very good year in rock and roll.
I have such a good fucking list. It's just crazy.
Yeah, he thinks he's got a better list than me, but you know why he does is because he got his list in first and stole 2 of my fucking songs I was going to pick, and that's okay.
It'd take more than 2 songs to make your list as good as mine. I'm just saying.
I think my list is pretty solid. I guess we'll find out. But
we'll find out. You guys be the judge. Let us know.
Yeah, in the comments, who's got the better list.
Yeah, it's a hands down.
No doubt about it.
No fucking doubt about it.
He's feeling pretty good about his list. You know, and I think I think there's a couple albums that came out that year where we're going to have a song each off of it.
Yeah, I think so too.
You know, what else was I going to say about 1986? Oh, I know what I was going to say. I say this every fucking year. This is going to be the year where it's all hair metal. Well, once again, it's not all hair metal for me. It's pretty damn close, though.
It's all rock for me, man.
Well, you know, I got to have some pussy ballads on there. Like, you loved my pick for You're the Inspiration on 1985 for Chicago, didn't you?
I don't even think I'd bring that up again.
Yeah, you might be looking for, taking applications for new co-hosts after that one.
Anywho, should we get this goddamn party started?
Yeah, let's get the ball rolling. You want to start out with your number 10, or you want me to start out with my number 10?
Well, let's do your wimpy one first.
Yeah, this is an awfully wimpy one. And actually, 10 and 9 are kind of on the wimpy side, whatever. But,
we're used to it, Bergy.
Yeah. So my song is from Peter Gabriel, and the name of the song is In Your Eyes, and it comes from an album that called So, from him. But I know it from the fucking movie Say Anything. Mm-hmm. It was a movie that came out, and actually I think that came out in 89, if I remember right.
Is that Cusack?
Yep, John Cusack. I loved all of his movies.
Me too.
One of my favorite movies is Better Off Dead. And I think for the longest time he's one of those actors that he wouldn't talk about that movie. But it's actually probably my favorite John Cusack movie.
Better Off Dead?
Better Off Dead.
I don't know if I've seen that one.
Do yourself a favor and find it and watch it right now.
Yeah, I mean, I really like John Cusack. I think he was a very, very underrated actor.
Yeah.
I thought he was great.
The movie's a classic, and he's so funny. But anyway, this is the song in the movie Say Anything where he's got the boombox and he's standing down below her window.
Yep.
Ione Skye is the actress's name. She just put out a book or something that I saw that looked kind of cool. But anyway, she played some... Oh, no, it's the gal in Better Off Dead that I'm thinking of. I can't think of her name, but she's the gal that played the foreign exchange students. If you haven't seen Better Off Dead, you know what the hell I'm talking about, so I should just shut up about it. But anyway, song I picked at number 10, In Your Eyes, reached number 1 on the U.S. Billboard Mainstream Rock Tracks in September of 86, peaked at 26 in the Billboard Hot 100 in November. And I don't even really remember this song in 86. I remember it more from that movie.
Yeah, I would have known it in 86. From Peter Gabriel.
Featured in the teen drama film Say Anything, starring John Cusack and Ione Skye. I think I've heard her pronounce her name Ione, which is kind of weird, but...
Different.
Yep. It's a cool song. First gold single by Gabriel. Of course, he was in Genesis with
Phil
Collins, who you couldn't turn on the fucking radio and wait 5 minutes to not hear a Phil Collins song in the 80s.
Studio.
Yeah. Anyway,
all kinds of them. Yep.
that's my pick at 10. How about you, man?
All right, I go over to Australia. I don't know how to do an Australian accent. That was terrible. Shrimp on the Barbie. I don't know how to fucking do it.
Sound like Dracula over
Yeah,
there.
whatever. I don't know. I'm never good at that shit. But I make fun of myself. I don't care.
Yeah.
And the band is AC/DC, and they came out with a compilation album this year for the movie Maximum Overdrive, and the song I picked is "Who Made Who." Just a great song. I mean, AC/DC, come on, you can't go fucking wrong with AC/DC. When AC/DC's number 10, you know this list is good.
You know, it's solid.
You know it's solid. Like I said, it came out in 1986. Came out for Stephen King's movie Maximum Overdrive. Reached number 9 in Australia, number 1 in Finland, and number 23 in the U.S. Billboard Album Rock Tracks chart. AC/DC's Who Made Who has also been played live, mostly through the subsequent tour and Blow Up Your Video World tour. It was also played live with replacement drummer Chris Slade throughout the Razor's Edge tour, and with drummer Phil Rudd, who returned to the band in 1994 after being fired from the group 11 years prior for the only one gig at the opening night of Ballbreaker World Tour in Greensboro, North Carolina, after which the song was dropped and has not been played live since. So, Who Made Who? AC/DC. Check it out. It's a great tune.
List starting off solid.
Solid. Rock fucking solid.
Yeah, he thinks his list is the best so
Oh my
far.
God. It's just unreal.
We'll see. We'll see how it all shakes out. My number 9 is another one on the, little later
This
side.
one's way better than the last one.
Yeah. You think so?
Yeah, oh yeah.
You think it's better than
It's
Chicago?
at least one spot higher.
Okay. So the song I picked is another. So I'm a big Prince fan.
Yep.
And I think from watching 1980 through 1985 and now 86, you probably figured that out by now.
He is.
The song that I picked is the song Kiss from the album Parade. Came out February 5th in 1986. So it's the number 1 hit worldwide. This is a song where he really got into his high voice, which he could do falsetto better than probably anybody.
I love this song.
Yeah. Tom, what's his name? Tom, the old guy that redid it and remade it, did a version of it. God damn it.
Tom, I can think of it. Waits.
Tom Jones.
Tom Jones?
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
Tom Jones did a version of it.
Oh, my God. That had to be atrocious.
Yeah. Anyway, so, yeah, it wasn't as good as this, but I think Tom Jones actually did pretty well.
Did you happen to see the thing I shared on Facebook of the 2 girls in the subway? They were doing this song.
Huh.
Oh, you got to check it out.
Yeah.
It's really cool. This is just shortly after he died. And these girls are on a subway. And the one girl's doing a beatbox just on
Shortly after Prince died?
Yep.
Okay.
And one girl's doing a beatbox on like a cardboard box. And then another girl's playing guitar and singing. And then one of the passengers starts singing. It's really cool.
You should remember when this episode comes out to share it on X or something.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Or, I mean, you could do it now, but it would make more sense to put it out when this episode hits.
But yeah, it was really cool. It came out in my memories. I shared it because after Prince died, a lot of stuff was popping up on your feed about Prince and stuff, and that was one of the things. And I was like, shit, that's really cool.
Yeah, the anniversary of that just passed in April. He passed away of 2016. I don't remember the date exactly. I think it was the 16th, but
I'm pretty sure that's when that video came out, but I could be wrong. But I remember maybe that video was shot before that, but it was that's when it popped up on my feed, and I was like, holy shit, this is cool. So anyways, sorry.
No, that's okay. Number 1 hit 2 weeks in a row. Certified gold in 86 for shipments of 1 million copies. Song is ranked number 85 on Rolling Stone's list of 500 greatest songs of all time that came out in 2021. Following Prince's death in April of 2016, song recharted on the Billboard Hot 100 at 28. So that's kind of cool that it, all them years later, it hit the charts again. And I think he had another one that was on there too. But anyway, song Kiss from the album Parade. Check it out.
I got another little funny story about that. The best version I've ever seen was in the Roulette Bar.
Roulette Bar.
They're in karaoke, and it was Stace Foskey and Dean Friddle. Oh my God, it was funny.
No shit, huh?
Yeah, it was great.
So
it was great.
Stace is he's been on one of our episodes.
Yeah.
And he's one of our many subscribers.
Yeah. Okay, I'm being generous with the best version ever, but it was most entertaining for sure.
It was killer.
It was awesome. It was a lot of fun. So cool.
I got 2 bangers right away. What do you got for your number 9?
My number 9 comes off an album called Eat 'em and Smile, and that is by David Lee Roth. And the song I picked is Yankee Rose. This features Steve Vai on guitar, who in one episode I said we were talking about how guitarists, and I like guitarists that have feel and not the technical guy. And one guy commented and said, you know, Steve Vai plays with that, and I was like, yeah, he kind of does. He did the Crossroads thing, you know, that movie Crossroads.
Yeah.
He did all the guitar work in there. So my apologies. I didn't mean to offend anybody. I'm just saying he's still one of those guys that's known for instrumental albums.
Yeah,
and just doing his own thing, which to me is like technical, showing your stuff. So I didn't mean I like Steve Vai. I think he's good. He's great. But it's just a different style.
I want to say one thing real quick.
Go.
You fucker stole my song on this one because I fucking love this song.
Yeah, well, obviously it's at number 9. I love the song.
I would have had it much higher on my list, but
yeah, that's, you know.
That's because my list is wrong, but that's okay.
Of course. That's exactly it. Anyways, Eat 'em and Smile. David Lee Roth's album. It's actually a really good album.
Excellent.
I love the song. I think Yankee Rose probably isn't even my favorite. I think Tobacco Road is my favorite. I like that song. It's just groovy. There's something about that song that I like. But anyways, Yankee Rose with the guitar that talks and that Steve Vai does is really, really cool.
Yeah, the back and forth between him and Dave. Wah. What?
Yeah.
Well, let me roll up out to the sidewalk and take a look. Yes. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's awesome. So, very, very good song. If you haven't heard that, if you've been living under a rock, check it out. You won't be disappointed. It's very fun.
Yeah, it's killer. And I got to say something about the video for that. So the video, I know you're not a big video guy, but do you remember this video? Everybody should remember the beginning because it's Dave dressed in his stuff from the album cover.
Yeah.
Right?
Okay. Yeah.
And he's in the convenience store, and he's got the spear in his hand, and there's the guy. It's almost like an older, maybe more Hispanic version of Waldo from the Hot for Teacher video.
Okay.
Who's like the cashier at the thing, and Dave's looking around, and he does this thing with his spear, and whoosh, whoosh. And he looks around and he looks at the guy. Give me a bottle of anything and a glazed donut to go.
I can't believe it, okay? My honeymoon night, okay? I will probably only have 3 or 4 more of these in my whole entire lifetime. And you checked me into that dump your brother calls a motel.
But Consuelo, I gave him $2 extra for the fantasy suite.
Too bad, honey, too bad. I will not sleep there. So tonight, you will have to fantasize that you have a wife, okay?
Consuelo, mi amor, Consuelo.
Can I help you? Ooh, breath mint. Our lips are so close.
Not if you was the last immigrant grocer on earth, honey.
Son of a brisky, my ancestors spit on your haircut.
Can you help me? My doctor said I have to take a laxative.
Not in my store, you don't.
Ooh, my friend. I always hang out with 2 of them because it's better for conversation. See if there winds up being any. I don't have to be involved. Forget about it. Ooh. humid in here tonight, isn't it, girls?
Give me a bottle of anything and a glazed donut. To go.
And then the song kicks in, and it's just, yeah, it's funny, and it's super Dave, I guess, Dave-ish.
Oh, and the one thing I was going to say, David Lee Roth put this album out, Eat 'em and Smile. This is after he broke up with Van Halen, and then Van Halen came out with an album and says OU812 in response to Eat 'em and Smile, and I thought that was kind of cool.
Yeah.
Little bit of trivia.
That is a little back and forth between the two. And so Dave put out the EP Crazy from the Heat right after they broke up, or whatever you want to call it, right after he got kicked out or left, or I don't even remember exactly the story.
Yeah.
But this album is, like Chad said, fucking great.
It really is.
Yeah.
Yep.
Eat 'em and Smile.
That's my number 9.
Get it.
Get it. Got it. Good.
My number 8.
Your number 8.
Moving right along, a little album came out late 1986, so it barely qualifies, but it does. And this is one that I didn't have to really reach for it, but he took a couple of my songs, and so I had to go back to the well a little bit and find some gems. And this one, like I said, came out December of '86. A little known album called Mechanical Resonance, from the band Tesla, their debut album. If you're watching our episode, you know the song, but it's kind of what put Tesla on the map. It may not even necessarily be my favorite song on that album, but because it was their first one and their first kind of, like I said, song that put them on the map. It's the one that I wanted to pick to have in our countdown for 1986. It has lyrics to references like Billy the Kid and Al Capone. And then in the final verse, it references Cold War tensions between the United States and the Soviet Union, which, of course, for 1986 was right up there. Music video for the song shows Nikola Tesla playing films in an abandoned movie theater. Tesla shows footage of the band performing the song, along with scenes from the movies High Noon, Scarface, and Dr. Strangelove. The beginning of the video shows the theater marquee with the names of all 3 films with some letters missing, along with the name of the band. So,
excellent album, excellent pick.
Yeah, Modern Day Cowboy, my number 8. Check it out.
Song. Okay, we are on to my number 8, which I have Peace Sells, But Who's Buying by Megadeth. I freaking love this. So this might be my favorite Megadeth song. Just bear with me. I'm going to read a little bit about it. Frontman Dave Mustaine recalled the writing of this song to Rolling Stone. I was homeless at the time, and I was living in a rehearsal place in Vernon, California. I was seeing a girl, Diana. There were a lot of songs I wrote about her. I actually wrote lyrics to that song on the wall in the building. I didn't have any paper in the studio, but I had a Sharpie, so I just wrote it on the wall. Whoever inherited the rehearsal room after I moved out saw the original lyrics to Peace Sells on the wall. They probably painted right over it and didn't even know. Mustaine actually wrote the opening bass line too, which is cool. God, it's just cool. And anyways, I'm going to read a little bit of the lyrics, and I just this song is so goddamn catchy. So he goes, "What do you mean I don't believe in God? I talk to him every day. Mm-hmm. What do you mean I don't support the system? I go to court when I have to. What do you mean I can't get to work on time? Got nothing better to do? And what do you mean I don't pay my bills? Why do you think I'm broke, huh?"
Yeah.
And then it's, "If there's a new way, well, I'll be the first in line. Better work it out this time." And then it's just, and the guitars are so awesome. The riff is so cool. And, this is, a second album for him. And I just love this song. It's so freaking good. And then I really like the other song on that album that I really, really like is Devil's Island. But Great song. If you haven't heard this song by Megadeth, do yourself a favor, get out there, listen to it, because it's super catchy.
Yeah.
It's super awesome. Good job, Dave.
Yeah, I'm a huge Megadeth fan.
I know you are.
And I like this album. I like this song. Stay tuned for some of our coming up years, because I will have some Megadeth on my list.
I will too.
Yeah. Good pick.
They got some good shit. So on to you with number 7.
Well, my number 7 is from a soundtrack. And, I didn't really have any trouble picking this song. Looking at the other songs on the album, I wanted to pick one of these. But the band is Fastway and the soundtrack is Trick or Treat. And the song I picked is the second song on the album, called After Midnight. It's just kind of a banger to me. And I didn't know anything really about Fastway until this album came out.
I had one of their albums before this came out, but their other albums don't sound anything like this album.
Yeah.
He just sings better. The guitars are better. I mean, Fastway has some decent stuff, but this album is so good. It's like, this would be like a Fastway greatest hits to me.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe it's because of the movie. And the movie, I don't know. Do you feel like the movie's like, oh man, that movie's great?
No, it's
Right.
not great. It's a horror film, for one. I'm
Yeah.
not a big horror film guy.
Yeah.
At the time when I saw it, I liked it more because of the music that was in it.
And the
But
fact that the antagonist, or the whatever you want to call him,
Sammy Kerr?
Yeah, Sammy Kerr is a rock star.
star.
So it's cool.
So yeah, exactly. So it was super cool back in the day, but as a good movie, it's
Didn't win any Academy Awards.
No, it's a 5 on a 10 scale. It's not a great movie.
Right. But some pretty shitty movies have won the Academy Awards. So
Yeah. Well. Yeah.
but anyway, yeah, some of the lyrics, like when it gets to the chorus and it's, I'm going to get you after midnight, shock you till the sparks fly. Dave King, the singer, just wails on this song.
It's super catchy. That whole album is really good. That might be a certified album at some point. That's it's that I don't know, that's one of my favorite soundtracks of all time.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It was on our soundtracks episode. We did that, right?
Yep, and I picked that one. I'm pretty sure of it.
I'm pretty damn sure you did.
I'm pretty sure a couple other people picked it as well.
Yep. So, I don't got a lot more to say about it.
No, it's just a great song.
Yeah, I like. Yeah.
Okay, on to me.
Yeah.
Number 7. Okay, picking a band that I normally don't pick because I'm kind of on a thing with them. I have a thing with them, but this song I picked because this album, when it came out, was so different for this band, and it was so, there were synthesizers in it for like the first time. And the band is Judas Priest, and the album is Turbo Lover. The song I picked is Turbo Lover, and it's super cool song. It has a synthesizer, so Glenn Tipton used a synthesizer guitar called a Hamer A7 Phantom that the company sent him, hooked up to a Roland GR700 guitar synth. He came up with the unusual sound that you hear in the intro. He came up with it when they were writing songs for the album. Rob Halford thought it sounded like a turbo engine revving up, so it became the basis for his lyric when he developed it into Turbo Lover idea. They decided to name the album Turbo. Oh, yeah, I said Turbo Lover. Whoops. And it's about a motorcycle is what they say. So, great song, great album. There's so many good songs on this album. Parental Guidance.
I like that song.
In. There's so many. I can't even think of them right now. But like this album, it's weird because I wasn't a big synthesizer guy back in the day. I kind of thought it made albums kind of wimpy. But for some reason, I like this album.
The album was called Turbo, you said?
Yeah,
But the song was Turbo Lover.
I believe so, yeah.
You had it. You at one point, Judas Priest was dead to you.
They still are.
Okay.
But I have to give due to this album because I listened to the shit out of
Yeah,
this
and
album.
it's not all about the singer, or it's not all about the...
What happened, I guess. But, yeah, but for the most part, if I go back, the only 2 albums that I listened to from Judas Priest are probably, well, 3. Screaming for Vengeance, Defenders of the Faith, and this one. That's the only 3 that I really know.
Yeah, is there... Do they have an album called British Steel?
Yep.
Is that them?
That's early. Yep.
Yeah, I like that one. And Parental Guidance is on here. I really like that song. It's catchy.
Yeah.
Like, we don't need no parental guidance here. Yeah, I like that tune a lot.
Yeah, I mean, the whole album is really, really good. If you haven't listened to it in a while, go back and check it out because it is rocking. And I remember when this came out, there was a... Matter of fact, TK Rocks, who your
Cousin
guitar. was in when they had at the fair, they had Battle of the Bands.
Yep, I remember that.
They were in a battle with this other band, and I want to say their name was Street Legal or something like that. I can't remember exactly, but that band went on to win, I do believe. And we can double check that with your cousin.
Yeah, Rob, you'll probably remember.
And the song they played, I think, was either Turbo Lover or Locked In off of Turbo, and they blew the fucking boom. Yeah, just all of a sudden they're just jamming, and all of a sudden, poof, everything went off. There was nothing. You could hear them up there strumming and singing, and like there was no sound coming out. So they blew a fuse or something or whatever, but it was really cool.
TK Rocks or the other band?
The other band was playing.
And they won on that?
I think so.
You can't win if you blow the fucking...
Well, they came back and redid it.
Oh, okay.
Once they figured it out.
It's like the slam dunk contest when they...
Yeah.
Oh, you miss a dunk, you get a redo or whatever.
Well, I mean, you can't help it if fucking fuse blows.
Well, I guess. That's true.
They were kicking ass when it happened.
Yeah.
I know that.
Maybe that gives you bonus points for that.
Probably.
Yeah.
Maybe if they were licking ass, they'd probably won faster. So, anyways, that's my story.
And you're sticking to it.
Yep.
And that was your number what?
7. So you're on to 6.
Am I? Mm-hmm. My number 6 is off the album 5150.
Ooh, good album.
You know, yeah, it was so hard. I wanted to pick something off. This is one of the albums we might have 2 songs off of.
We do.
I wanted to pick something off of it, and I wasn't 100% sure. I mean, some of the singles are Why Can't This Be Love, Dreams, Love Walks In, Best of Both Worlds. But the song that I picked is Summer Nights. And I
didn't pick a single either.
Yeah, right. And I want to look at, so it's the last song on the first side, you know, and I had this on cassette back in the day. But the guitar lick at the beginning, da, 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 da. Yeah, I mean, just.
Yep.
Yeah, and Sammy was so good. You know, you talked about, so David Lee Roth had the album Eat 'Em and Smile, and then this came out. I don't remember which came out first, but I think this probably came out, it says March of 86.
Yeah.
First of 4 albums with Sammy. Album named after Eddie's home studio, which was named after a section 5150 of the California Welfare and Institutes Code, which referred to a law enforcement term for a mentally disturbed person. It was a follow-up to their number 1 hit, this album hit number 1. Their prior album, 1984, which is killer too, peaked at 2 because of Michael Jackson's Thriller album. Kept him off there, which of course Eddie was actually made a guest appearance on that album.
Yep.
Let's see what else. Yeah, I love Sammy Hagar. I think the albums they did with him are great. This is my favorite one of those, though. And I had a tough time picking one, but I had to pick one off of there, and Summer Nights is the one I went.
Cool. Yeah, very good album. I love Sammy Hagar and what he did with Van Halen. I think he's a better singer than Dave, but, you know, Dave's stuff is iconic, and I think what they did with Sammy is pretty much iconic too. I mean, it's kind of one of those things where there isn't very many bands, like we talked about. AC/DC did it with Brian Johnson, where they switched an integral part of your band. You know, your lead singer is your kind of your face of the band.
Yeah.
And switched and still rocked and moved on and did good things.
Yeah, it's pretty rare.
It is. It doesn't happen very often. Like
You were talking about in our previous episode, like
Skid Row.
Thick Skin. Yeah, it's a good album.
It's
or
a good
whatever,
album, but it's just not
Skid Row.
right. And people may say that about Van Halen, but I think it's gone past that because of how much success they had. And same thing with Bon Scott and Brian. You know, I mean, you can't shit on the new guy because he's proven that he is a proven commodity. So
yeah, you still hear the Van Hagar thing, but they're Van Halen. I mean, Van Halen is Alex and Eddie.
Yeah,
they're not going to change their name when there's two Van Halen brothers in the band.
Right.
But yeah, so I have a little above ground swimming pool in the backyard, and I have a playlist for summer. I have pool parties and stuff. And Summer Nights is, of course, on the summer playlist. It's killer. It just makes me think of nice, warm weather. And yeah. Anyway, that's my number 6.
My number 6 is by a band by the name of Cinderella. And the song I picked is Somebody Save Me. And there's so many songs off this that I could have picked. I mean, it's just phenomenal album. And this is the song that I gravitated to most when I was that age. I just liked it. I like the groove of it. I like the heaviness of it. I'll read a little of the lyrics. It was, when I was a young boy, they said you're only getting older. But how was I to know then that they'd be crying on my shoulder? You put your money in the big house, get yourself a pretty wife. She'll collect your life insurance when she connects you with a knife.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know, and then somebody get the doctor, I'm feeling pretty poor. Somebody get the stretcher before I hit the floor. Come on and save me. Somebody save me. It's just a catchy song. It's just fucking good. This whole album is so good. And, you know, I could have picked any number of songs off of that album, but that's the one I picked just because that's the one that stuck out to me when I was whatever age I was. What a fucking age would we have been? 14 years old? 15? 15. Would have been 15 years old. And that's why I picked that song. It's just a great, great song. So, again, if you're listening to this particular station, if you're listening to our podcast, I'm sure you know the song. If you don't, go get it.
Yeah.
And get that album. It's freaking killer.
100%. And there might be another one off that album too.
Probably.
Yeah. There is. Spoiler alert.
Yep. So on to you with number 5.
Number 5, cracking into the top 5. You know, and actually I struggled with my order a little bit, but this hits number 5 for me. And it's, so I mentioned at the beginning, you know, 1981, it's going to be some hair metal in there. 82. By the time we get to 86, it's going to be all hair metal. And I kicked it off with Peter Gabriel and Prince. But it's been pretty much hair metal. I guess you wouldn't maybe call Van Halen hair metal. Maybe you would.
Yeah, it's in the genre we talk about.
But this is definitely hair metal, or, you know, they have a kind of a bluesy thing, and they always kind of got a, you know, the singer sounds a little bit like Led Zeppelin or, you know, Robert Plant. So I'm talking about Great White. They got a little bit bigger the following year, so maybe when we do 87, we might hear from them again, or 88 or 89 possibly too.
Right.
But they had a song on their Shot in the Dark album called Face the Day, and that is the song that I picked, and that's a cover. The Angels, which I actually have this album. The Angels song Face the Day. It's a did I say, yeah, the name of the album from 1986 came out in August, is Shot in the Dark. Third song on side 1 is Face the Day. The Angels are the Australian rock band, too, that I actually watched a whole, or started to. It was like a 2-hour video about AC/DC, and they talked about other Australian bands, and the Angels were one of them.
Okay, cool.
And if I remember right, yeah, later they changed the Angels, actually, to avoid legal problems with similarly named acts in the international market. Their records have been released under the names Angel City and later The Angels from Angel City. I actually have albums that are from Angels and Angel City in my Apple Music. So I do have this one on there. I can't remember what the name of the album is.
That just reminded me of a band from way back when that I'm going to just see if they're on Apple Music called Rock City Angels.
Yeah, see, Angels, I mean, there's a ton. There's Electric Angels. There's a ton, and then I stop at one. But Face the Day, Jack Russell's the singer on it. It's kind of a bluesy, slow, and then it builds up and it starts rocking, right? You know the song, right? Face the Day. Yeah,
really good song.
Yep.
I like that song a lot. I had no idea it was a cover.
Yeah, well, you learn something. So you watch our show, and you learn something new sometimes.
I know. Maybe I should watch our show.
You should.
I can learn something.
Everybody should watch our show.
God damn.
We did a Hump Day Headbanger where I didn't know that song was a cover either. Hot Sherry.
Hot Sherry, yeah. Yeah, I didn't know either. So
that was kind of
crazy.
a cover of a cover of a cover, that one.
Right.
But anyway, Face the Day.
Great song.
Yep.
I like that song.
That's
a
my
lot.
5.
My 5 is a huge song that everybody knows, and it's called Living on a Prayer by a little band called Bon Jovi.
Yeah.
Off the album Slippery When Wet. I'll just read a little bit of the song. The follow-up to Bon Jovi's #1 hit, You Give Love a Bad Name, Living on a Prayer, tells the story of Tommy and Gina, 2 kids working to make it on their own despite constant hardships. It struck a chord with America's youth, especially those from New Jersey. The characters in the song relate to the working class fans Bon Jovi played to. Tommy works on the docks while Gina works in the diner. John Bon Jovi and Richie Sambora are the main songwriters in the group. Wrote this with Desmond Child, who was brought on the record to give them more of a commercial sound like he did for Kiss with I Was Made for Loving You. The characters Tommy and Gina were based on a real-life situation Desmond encountered in the late 70s with his then-girlfriend Maria Vidal, whom he was living with. According to the notes in his Desmond Child and the Rogue Runners in the Night album, Desmond was a New York taxicab driver and Maria was a singing actress in a diner. Vidal used the same name, Gina Velvet. She was nicknamed Gina by her fellow employees because she looked like the Italian actress Gina
Lola Brigida.
Lola Brigida?
Yeah.
So that's how that all went down. But if you don't know the song, you're living under a rock.
Yeah, you know the song.
You know
the album was fucking big time. I mean,
and it's such an iconic song. I don't need to really say any more about it other than it's just a great written song. Bon Jovi had a lot of those, and this was one of them.
Yeah, that album blew them up, but not only that, but it blew open the doors for all other hair metal, and Bon Jovi probably doesn't even like that term. I'm sure of it. And maybe you wouldn't call them hair metal necessarily back then. But man, when you look back and you say the term hair metal now, Bon Jovi, I mean, dude.
Yeah, they were right in the midst of it. I mean,
dude had the hair and they had the licks and they had the...
I've told this story before. I mean, John Bon Jovi, when I saw them open for Rat, there was a guy in the crowd that had his hair exactly like John Bon Jovi, and I just thought it was hilarious. But, I mean, he had that hair.
Yeah, he was the look.
He was the look. Good-looking dude. He probably was on that episode. I don't know.
The Hair Metal Gurus
Yeah.
episode of.
I haven't watched that one
It's-
yet.
yeah.
I'm kind of still waiting.
Yeah, if you haven't, so check it out. The three guys. So the three of them and Mariah did it. So 3 guys came out of the closet on that one for sure.
That's funny. I still haven't watched it. I've been saving that one, but yeah. I would imagine
Hottest guys in hair metal.
I would guess John had to make that list. I don't spoil it for me.
I won't. Rest assured, he was on at least 2 or 3 of the folks' list. How can he not be?
Yeah. So, anyways, Living on a Prairie, Bon Jovi, my number 5. What's your number 4?
So speaking of hair metal, these guys epitomize it to me. The glam slam kings of noise, Poison.
Awesome.
Yeah. And I look what the Cat Dragged In came out in 1986. How can this album not be covered? And it's going to be covered twice because Chad stole my fucking song off of there. And that's okay. It is a better song. Your list maybe is a little bit better than mine, and that's okay. But the song I picked is the 3rd single off of that album called I Want Action. You know, they had the ballad, and of course, I won't spoil the song that Chad's going to talk about, but both top 20 hits. This one actually didn't crack the top 40. Peaked at number 50 on the Billboard Hot 100. Cashbox said the song has Poison at their resounding best, saying that the tune is every bit as suggestive as its title, pouring on sex and incendiary guitars with a trowel. Yeah, and I remember the videos got them sitting in the diner, and they had, for whatever reason, I think it's Ricky Rocket always wore the cop's hat or whatever, and they had the big hair, and the waitress comes up and she's got the plates, and there's like what's the word I'm looking for, sound effects to her walking over to talk to the guys. And yeah, it's so 86 and such a great tune. I mean, just
it is a good song.
Yeah, you just the beginning with the gang vocal, I want action tonight.
Satisfaction.
And then drums kick in and the guitar kicks in, and just
for sure.
Yeah, when you pop this cassette in your player back in the day, that was the tune you cranked up for sure.
For sure. Or you may have cranked my number 4.
Yeah, okay.
The song I'm talking about came off that same album, and it is the ultimate freaking Poison song. It is Talk Dirty to Me.
Yeah, fuck,
This
it really
thing
is.
so good and catchy, and it's just unreal. You're probably thinking to yourself, what the fuck? Number 4? How could this not be number 1? Just wait.
His list is so good. This is number 4. He stole this song from me. I mean, it's okay. Like I said, 81, 82, 83, Chris picks first. Got lucky. I don't know. Like I said, 81, 82, maybe we had some repeats, but at some point we decided we'll compare lists and make sure we don't have any repeats.
Right.
I would have had this at number 1.
I know. He said that.
But that's, anyway.
Yeah.
Fucking good song.
It could have been higher on my list. I just had the list in this order, and I just left it.
Yep.
It could have been number 2, I think, probably. It wouldn't have beat my number 1, but just saying. Anyways, Poison formed in Mechanicsville, Pennsylvania, 84, and soon relocated to Los Angeles, where they added guitarist C.C. DeVille. They wrote original songs, hit the clubs, where they refined their sound and their look, embracing the begrudgingly hair metal genre. Their secret weapon, Bobby Dahl, who was a licensed cosmetologist.
I remember that, yeah.
The group got a deal with Enigma Records, which released their first album, Look What the Cat Dragged In 1986, August of 1986. Talk Dirty to Me was released as a single, and while Poison toured as an opening act for Rat and Cinderella, the song made a steady move up the charts, peaking at number 9 in the U.S. In May 1987, the album spent 101 weeks on the U.S. charts, eventually reaching number 3. And I mean, you think about Poison, you think about Every Rose Has Its Thorn, and this has got to be a close number 2.
Yeah, Nothing But a Good Time's in there too. That'll come up on a later episode.
Yep, for sure.
1988, I think.
Yep, I think it is 88. But just a frickin', I mean, and it's one of those songs, like, everybody knows the lead, or the solo part in this. They can hum it. Yeah, I mean, everybody knows it. You can sing along with it. How iconic is a song when you can sing the freaking solo, right? It's kind of like
Yeah.
You Shook Me All Night Long. Everybody can sing that solo. It's just, you can. Or Uncomfortably Numb by Pink Floyd. I mean, it's just one of those songs that is just so big that everybody knows it, everybody likes it, and even if you're not a hair metal fan, you like it because it was a part of that time or part of your growing up. So I can say nothing else. Talk Dirty to Me, number 4.
Nothing else needs to be said. Great hair metal song. Period.
Yep.
Number 3.
Number 3.
My number 3 is from my favorite band of the genre, Rat. And off their third album that came out in 86, late in September of 1986, actually my youngest kid's birthday, September 24th. Dancing Undercover is the studio album, third one. And the song is the lead-off track on the album and the lead-off single. Also released in, October of 86, but Dance is the name of the song. I think I like this album a lot. I mean, I like all Rat's albums. Rat's one of those bands that doesn't really have a bad album, I don't think.
No, they don't.
Somebody could argue maybe one or two of them out of their 10. I mean, some of the newer stuff, maybe somebody could argue, but in this, out of their like core 4 albums, like their first 4 albums, maybe is not everybody's favorite. But Dance, I'm looking at the song titles: One Good Lover, Drive Me Crazy, Slip of the Lip, Body Talk, Flip It Over, Looking for Love, 7th Avenue, Doesn't Matter, Take a Chance, and like all those songs are really good. But Dance just sticks out for me, and the reason why is because I remember getting this album on cassette, taking the plastic off, popping it open, pulling it out, reading the liner notes, putting it in, and right away it's, I can see Bobby Blotzer spinning his sticks, getting ready to hit the,
Hit the skins.
Yeah, and the video it featured like old black and white movie stuff of like Fred Astaire and Ginger Rogers and people dancing.
Yeah.
I love Rat. This is
a great song.
Yeah, it's a little different than stuff off their first couple of albums, but I really like it.
Yeah, and I think we talked about that when we were discussing Rat, how originally I didn't really care for this album, but upon going back and listening to it, like when we did our Rat stuff, I really liked it. Another standout song for me is 7th Avenue. I really like that song. On 7th Avenue. I don't know. There's something, that album just got better with time for me. So, and Dance is the one I would have picked off of that album too, just because it starts off the album and it's a really catchy tune off the first song.
And I totally regret not seeing them on this tour. They were here in Minot at the Minot Auditorium. Poison opened for them in 1986. I mean, imagine Rat and Poison. Fuck.
Rat Poison?
Yeah. I mean, that's a great name too for a tour. Yeah. It's almost as good as Cornhole, but
yeah. That's a good one.
Yeah. But Rat, Poison. But man, you just saw Poison in their early years. You just saw Rat as a, third album group with some chops, but I did hear that Poison, kind of blew them out of the water on that particular night here in Minot. But
yeah, well,
Poison always put on a good show.
Rat picked some tough openers. I mean, if they had Poison on that one, on the previous one, it was Bon Jovi.
Yeah, and even on that tour, they had Poison, Cinderella, Cheap Trick. I mean,
holy shit,
Queensryche and Vinnie Vincent Invasion.
Yeah.
But they were here in Minot with Poison, and I missed it. Fuck. Anyway, your number 3, man.
My number 3 comes off probably my favorite Ozzy album, and that is The Ultimate Sin. The song I picked is Killer of Giants. And I've talked about it before. I'm kind of a Jakey Lee guy. I love Jakey Lee, the way he plays. Killer of Giants is just a freaking monster of a song. The lyrics are, if none of us believe in war, then can you tell me what the weapon's for? Listen to me, everyone. If the button is pushed, there'll be nowhere to run. And then the chorus, pre-chorus goes, giants sleeping, giants winning wars within their dreams, till they wake when it's too late and in God's name's blaspheme. Then it goes into killer of giants, threatens us all, mountains of madness, standing so tall, marches of protest, not stopping the war, or the killer of giants. And it's just a great song about war. And it's like, and the guitar work on it is so good. Some of Jake's best work, in my opinion. This whole album is fantastic, and I can't get enough of it, and that's my pick for number 3.
Yeah. Awesome. Killer.
Thank you. Killer.
Of Giants.
Of Giants.
Yeah. So we're on to 2.
We're on to 2.
We're getting close to the end, and I don't know. Your list is good.
It's not good. It's fucking great.
It is pretty good. I'll give you some credit. It's better. It's better than mine. But at my number 2 is Cinderella Shake Me off the album Night Songs. It's their first single. Although I bought this album because I saw, maybe I heard Nobody's Fool on the radio, but I remember seeing the video for Nobody's Fool. And that came out a couple months after Shake Me. For whatever reason, I don't remember hearing Shake Me first. You know, of course, when you put the album in.
You just missed it.
Yeah, I missed it. But man, I missed a goodie.
Yeah. That was probably, I was between that one and the one I picked. Somebody Saved Me.
You know, it's so funny that this album came out the same year that Poison, Look What the Cat Dragged In came in, and I feel like I remember even people talking about this album cover and it's these guys are just trying to be Poison, but they're not. They're totally different.
Yeah,
they didn't have all the makeup on that Poison did. It is kind of a cool cover.
I love that cover.
Yeah, it's like they're in the alley with the fog behind them, and it's dark, and the purple and the Cinderella logos, and just
makes the fog look purple.
Yeah,
and they just look fucking cool.
Badass.
Tom Kiefer's giving you the
right on. Yeah.
The
finger guns. You know.
I mean, this is one of those albums you could have went into the record store and bought simply on the cover.
Yeah, for sure.
And now, but I bought it too. I can't remember, but I think I heard "Shake Me" first. Honestly.
Yeah. I don't know why, but I'm 100% positive that Nobody's Fool, and Nobody's Fool probably charted higher. Well, I don't know. If Shake Me didn't probably chart at all. Lead off single, it says here, Shake Me failed to chart, but Nobody's Fool cracked the top 20, reaching number 13.
How about Somebody Save Me?
Went to 66. So, but anyway, Shake Me. I mean,
this fucking album is just a banger.
Yeah.
This is definitely going to be on certified.
Yeah, no doubt about it.
Guaranteed.
I met this girl around 9:45. We made it once. She said, "Make me again." She wrapped her love around me all night long. In the morning, we were still going strong. Now, let me tell you, it sure feels good. First time I saw that girl, I knew it would. Now, let me tell you, it sure felt right. No pulling teeth. She didn't want to fight. She said, "Shake me."
All night.
She said, "Shake me." Yeah. Just
shake it, don't break it, baby.
Shake me. Yeah, shake it, don't break it, baby. Man, love that tune. Anyway.
That's good.
That's my 2. We're getting close.
That's 2. On to my number 2 is a previous album we talked about. It's Van Halen's 5150 album. And the song I picked, I too, along with Chris, he picked Summer Nights, which wasn't a single, and I picked 5150, which is not a single either. I picked this song because of Eddie's guitar work on it. It is phenomenal. Matter of fact, if you watch, Sammy Hagar has Joe Satriani playing on for his touring, and Joe struggles to play this. And I've watched some videos of him doing it. And you can, I mean, it's close. It's just not Eddie. It's really difficult. I've never even attempted to play it because it's well beyond my expertise. It's most of Eddie's stuff is well beyond my expertise. So, I mean, I think I can do You Really Got Me, and that's not even his song. So, but that's about it. Anyways, 5150, like Chris said, is a police code for an escaped psychiatric patient. It is also Eddie Van Halen's studio. In 1983, the 5150 studio was built. It began as a 40-foot long room with an adjustable ceiling height of up to 18 feet. This is the title track to the Van Halen's first album with Sammy Hagar as lead singer, taking over for David Lee Roth. As a lyricist, Hagar was less feral and more considered. The song is about taking a chance on love. The title 5150 never gets mentioned.
Yeah.
Yep.
It's funny that we had songs off that album and neither one of them was a single. But that's
No,
just...
I mean, I like the singles. But
Me too.
But like Summer Nights, that would have been my other pick.
Yeah, we it's such a good album.
Yeah,
That-
or Best of Both Worlds would have been right up there too.
Yeah. I just last time I cleaned my garage, I played that whole album when I was out there.
So good.
Just
It's such a
cranked
great
up.
album. So, yeah, 5150, Van Halen, the whole album's excellent. His song Summer Nights and mine, 5150, hand in hand, great songs.
And all the singles are great too.
For sure. On to your number one, buddy.
Number one, it's really good because I really got to go pee really fucking bad.
Okay.
But anyway, on to number one. My number one is on an album that's already been talked about, and this album, it just exploded this band and this genre, really. But I did pick the power ballad Wanted, Dead or Alive by American band Bon Jovi from the album Slippery When Wet.
Yeah.
The album came out in 86, so this song qualified, but actually the single didn't come out till March of 87. But man, everybody had this album in 86, and everybody knew that song in 86, even if it wasn't out as a single yet. Written by John Bon Jovi and Richie Sambora, album's third single. Peaked at number 7 on the Hot 100 chart, 13 on the mainstream rock tracks. It was the third single to reach the top 10. Slippery When Wet was the first glam metal album to have 3 top 10 hits on the Billboard Hot 100. 89 MTV Music Awards, John and Richie performed acoustic versions of this song, and you should check it out on YouTube if you can. It's killer. And they did Living on a Prayer too, which was the song you picked, right?
I picked, Living on a Prayer.
Right.
Yep.
So, and there's a couple other songs that could have been picked off this album. It's funny, the B-side to this single was Never Say Goodbye, which is a great ballad too. And I Die For You was on the B-side as well. Anyway, I got nothing more to say about it other than the fact that Bon Jovi had this is where it started, but they had a whole like cowboy rock thing with, and then John did the
Blaze of Glory.
the Blaze of Glory soundtrack, and which is great. I love that soundtrack.
Yeah.
But this album, Slippery When Wet, and this song, Wanted, Dead or Alive.
Does it say in there who came up with that guitar riff at the beginning? Because I know a lot of times John plays it, but I would think Richie came up with that. That's a great guitar intro.
Yeah.
I just love that. I think it's awesome, and kudos to whoever wrote it. I don't, I'm guessing Richie Sambora, but who knows? You look it up. I'll move on to my number one.
Yeah, absolutely.
My number one is no surprise. It is Master of Fucking Puppets from Metallica. Greatest Metallica song written, in my opinion.
Wow, and that's coming from the big Metallica guy too.
This is just a epic song. I mean, it takes you on a journey. It up and down, and then it slows down into that middle part, and then it kicks in the teeth again, and just fucking keeps going, and it's just a monster song. Master of Puppets plays a key scene in the season 4 episode Stranger Things where the metalhead character Eddie Munson plays it on guitar to help battle the demon. The episode is set in March 1986. The same month, the song was released on the Metallica Master of Puppets album. Ty Trujillo, the son of Metallica bassist Robert Trujillo, added guitar tracks to the version that appears in the show. The song was deemed culturally, historically, and aesthetically significant enough for preservation in the National Recording Registry by the United States Library of Congress in 2016, the first metal recording to do so. There are 2 ways the song is played live. There's one where they just play the song where it's normally played in its entirety, and another where they play the first 2 verses, and when in time for the instrumental part, they play another song like Nothing Else Matters or Sanitarium, and when the song is done, they continue the final verse of Master of Puppets. And if you've ever seen Metallica live and you've seen this song played, I mean, the fucking crowd is, every time they're doing Master,
Oh,
and,
yeah.
or when it says faster, or laughter,
Yes,
laughter.
yes.
All I hear and see is laughter. I mean, it is just a fucking mayhem at their shows when this song is played. And it is so good. Whole album, it's my favorite Metallica album. I have a soft spot for Kill 'Em All, but if I put a gun to my head, Master of Puppets album would be my number 1.
Yeah.
And I just love Metallica. I would say just about everything they put out I like or love. So that is my number 1. Should be no surprise to anybody who watches the show.
Have you watched Stranger Things?
Yep.
I have not seen it all. I've watched parts of the first season, and I try to and I can't remember where I left off, so I never pick it back up. And I should just start over from the beginning.
You should. It's
and watch
really,
it.
really good.
Yeah, and I might be on my.
It's really good.
How many times do you think you've seen Metallica in concert?
4, I think.
4. Okay, I've only seen them a couple times, but I seen them on the Damage Inc. tour or whatever they called it, Damage Justice tour.
Okay.
Which would be from And Justice for All. And then I saw them on the next tour for the Black Album, and both times they played really great sets. The second time they played literally, they didn't have an opening act, and they played for like 3+ hours.
I know, it's insane.
Yeah, and it was unbelievable, and it was great.
Right. I mean, think about it. In these last couple of tours they've done, they have played in cities, and they'd play a Friday night and a Saturday night, and they'd play 2 separate sets.
Yeah.
None of the same songs.
Well, and that's now, and they have, when you go back to the Black Album and the songs that they had on there, that's literally only their 5th studio album, right?
Yep.
So you have 5 studio albums, and yet you play a 3-hour show.
I mean, their songs are
long,
6 minutes plus, most of them.
But most bands, you could listen to 5 albums in under 3 hours, I think. Most albums are probably 35 to 40 minutes long.
Yep.
So if you did the math on that.
Yep. So.
But
they're just an iconic band, and I go back to, I love the Jason Newsted fucking when he coined the line, or did we sell out? The question, did we sell it? Yeah, we sold out. We sold out every arena we played, every single time.
Yeah.
And it's true, and it's going to continue to be true because Metallica fans are kind of crazy. I mean, they're very, very loyal, and nothing. I mean, and then there's the Megadeth crew who shit on Metallica because they kicked out Dave Mustaine, and they're very loyal. So I mean,
Dave had a problem.
Dave had a problem, but he turned around and turned his life around and created a fucking band that's I mean. They're not Metallica size.
No.
But they're a huge band as well.
Yeah,
so you got to give kudos to Dave. And, James has riff life on his knuckles. Because, a lot of people say he's a riff master. But if you want a riff master, fucking Mustaine is probably the riff master of all riff masters, in my opinion. I mean, you just listen to the Megadeth albums. They're a lot of their stuff is more complicated and
more technical or something.
So, I mean, kudos to Dave. I love Megadeth too. I just like Metallica better.
Yeah.
It's just
They're-
the sound I like better and the voice I like better. Dave Mustaine's kind of got a weird voice, but it's cool for Megadeth.
They're icons.
Yeah,
American
they're
icons.
They're both icons.
Yep.
They'll both be written about in history books.
Yep.
So that is our list of 20 songs from 1986. We hope you enjoyed the shit out of it.
Yeah, Chad had a better list probably. We might have missed something. Post it in the comments.
Yeah, let us know. What do you think our list? If you think we're full of shit, maybe we are. I don't know. But hopefully you enjoyed the show, and hopefully you tell somebody about it, and they join, because we need subscribers, and we hate begging for subscribers.
Yeah.
But, it's kind of a necessary evil when you're looking for subscribers. So with that, you got anything else?
No, I really don't. It was fun. Can't wait to do it. 1987.
Yep.
Check out our Hump Day Headbangers on Wednesday nights. Some of it's stuff we got working. We're going to do an episode with a guy named Patrick from our Hair Metal Misfits.
Yep.
And it's a Warrant episode. I won't spoil it. If you watched our previous Headbangers episode, we might have, gave it away a little bit, but that's okay.
It's okay. Nobody knows what songs we
No, nobody does. It's going to be fun.
It is going to be fun. So with that, that's it for this week's Rock Resurgence Radio. Keep the volume cranked, the fist pumping, and the spirit of rock and roll alive. We'll be back next week with more Sonic Mayhem. Until then, stay loud, stay proud, and keep fucking rocking.
Thanks for watching. Do the Tom Key.
Thank you so much for joining us today. We really hope you enjoyed our content. If you did, please like, subscribe, share, tell your friends. We'd greatly appreciate it. Links to everything we discussed will be included in episode notes. Feel free to check those out as well. Until next time, stay golden, Pony Boy, and rock on.